I'm Shay Russell for mining.com.au, and joining me today is Simon Finnis, the Managing Director for McLaren Minerals. Simon, how are you? And thank you for joining me from the RIU Explorers Conference in Fremantle.
I'm well, thanks, Shay. Slightly better than last time we talked when I was a dripping, sweaty mess, so I'm glad to talk to you from Fremantle, and it's much cooler and much more pleasant.
It certainly was. That was a hot and sweaty conference out in Noosa, and I hear it's just as hot out in Perth, just with less humidity. Now, let's kick off today. Before we get to what McLaren Minerals is working on and the work they've done to date, one of the things I find at conferences is they rustle up common questions. Tell me, what is a question investors keep asking you?
I think everyone wants to know why this project, or why we think this project will be successful. And look, that's a very good question because particularly investors in the Australian resources space don't particularly understand mineral sands and what drives the cost base and what drives the market in mineral sands. So, we just explain to them that it is a very simple project. That's always relative to other projects. However, it's in WA, it's close to infrastructure. We've got a roadhouse 30 or 40 kilometres away where the guys can go back and have a nice meal and a cold drink in the evening. So it's one of those projects, low overburden, good grade. So look, we're very comfortable with it, and that's probably what everyone needs to know is it's a straightforward project, and that's why we like it, and that's why we want to develop it.
Now, Simon, I know you've got extensive experience with mineral sands projects already under your belt. Tell me, where is this McLaren Minerals project up to, and what work's been done to date?
Yeah, so it's we acquired it. It already had a very significant resource. So I've got an inferred and indicated resource of 280 million tonnes, 4.8% heavy mineral, and that's got an indicated section of about 80 million tonnes at 6%. So our primary goal now is to do some drilling, which we've started, and get this thing to another level, increase the indicated part of the resource, and that will lead the study with regards to how many million tonnes we mine over what period of time. And we're very comfortable that we'll have a very robust mine life.
I have no doubt you will. Now, you alluded to obviously some big work that's going to happen over the next few years. But what sort of news flow can we expect to hear from McLaren Minerals in the next couple of months?
Yeah, well, we're obviously drilling, so we're going to take a metallurgical sample as part of that program, and that will help us sharpen up the flow sheet, which we've already had designed. That'll help us develop a strategy for slimes, and that will provide for us some specifications and samples of the finished product so we can head to market and try to sell those products. We'll also get a new mineral resource. So as part of the basis for the Prefeasibility Study, we'll have a new mineral resource that we'll be able to announce. And all that should happen in the next 2 or 3 months. So we're in an exciting little period. Mineral sands is a little bit boring in that we don't get those sexy gold intersections, but I think people need to realise that we're working, and these things, when they get them going, they make really good money.
Certainly is. It's a great way of summing it up. Listen, Simon, I know this is a busy conference and there's been a lot of interest in what you're working on with McLaren Minerals. Thank you so much for being here today. It was great speaking with you.
Thanks, Shay. Good to talk to you again.